Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and this is going to be a video that I'm going to use to answer a couple of questions that I've been getting from some of my Oakley viewers, you know, the guys that check into my channel to see my Oakley updates and things like that. Now, if you guys you know, are constantly making videos here on YouTube, you know that that we receive a lot of correspondence, we receive a lot of requests and things like that. So, you know, we can't always get to all of them. So like I said before, I'm going to try and kind of compile as many as I can into one particular video. That way I get to answer a lot of the different questions that I get. You know, I get a lot of repeated questions. So if you guys, you know, send me questions and you notice that, you know, I either don't respond or stuff like that, or if you ask me to do a review, you know, just remember, I might have already done that review, so just look through some of my older videos, or you know, it's something that I'm trying to compile to get one big video out instead of having to put a bunch of little videos, because you know, it takes a lot more time to do individual videos. So without further ado, here I go. One of the biggest questions that I get is you know, why don't I like Polarized? You know, I've mentioned that before. It's not that I don't like Polarized. I think Polarized is really good when it comes to sunglasses. It's just that for my particular eyesight, you know, I'm really susceptible to sudden changes in light. So the polarized lenses, because they take away so much of the glare, it's a really subtle change that I start getting a headache after a while. So unfortunately, I wish I could wear polarized, just because, you know, it's better for your eyes and things like that, but you know, I just can't. So you know, that's just me. Now I would definitely recommend, if it's something that you need, if you're in a bright sunny environment, definitely go ahead and get polarized. Now, you know, that leads me into the next question. What is polarized? Polarized is defined by Oakley as actually a filter in the lens, and what that filter does is it reduces 99% of the glare coming from the sun off of different surfaces. So if you're driving and you know, you get the glare off the vehicles, or you get it off the street and stuff like that, that's going to cut 99% of that glare. And I know that's probably the best example of what glare would be, you know, because a lot of us have actually encountered that. You know, you're driving 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're getting the sun off of somebody's car, and you know, it kind of blinds you. That's what glare is. So you know, what I'm going to do here is I've got my my iPad here, and you know, I'm going to use it so you guys can maybe, you know, show you a little bit of a demonstration of how Polarized works. As you guys can see, you know, here I am behind the you know, the camera. You know, this is a really good example because, you know, my shirt here has a lot going on with it, so you'll be able to see. So I've got a pair of glasses here. This is a non-polarized version. Hopefully this will work out, and this is a polarized version. And a lot of times you can tell if it's polarized because it actually has the word polarized etched on the bottom of the lens. So, you know, see, here it goes. So let me go ahead and turn this on, and you know, I'll just put the background here. All right, so as you guys can see, you can see a lot of you know, my reflection. That's pretty much glare coming off the screen. So I'm gonna put the glasses here in front of the you know, camera here, and as you guys can see, it does block a little bit of the glare, but you can still kind of see my shirt, my hand holding up the glasses. I don't know if that's coming out correctly, but you know, it's not blocking all the glare. So I'll take those off, and then, you know, obviously, as you guys can see, you know, it goes back to how it normally look. And then here is the polarized ones. You know, I'm showing you that I'm going to use those, and I'll slide those in front of the camera. And as you guys can see, it completely blocks everything out. You know, there's no glare. You can see the whole screen, you know, very clear, very crisp. You know, I'll take it off so you guys can see, put it back on. There you go. Maybe do it halfway so you can see the difference top to bottom. So basically that's what the Polarized is doing. It's blocking, you know, 99% of that glare, so you know, it lets you see the whole picture behind it. So definitely I would recommend, if you guys are able to do it, to go ahead and pick up you know, Polarized. Alright, another one of the questions that I've been getting is what is the difference between iridium and non-iridium? You know, I get this question a lot, and basically iridium, you know, in layman's terms, is that mirror coating that's on the lens. Now, what does that do? That actually, what it does is it gives contrast to the particular lens. So, you know, things will look a little bit more crisp and clear. So, here's a good example of an iridium and a non-iridium. This is a gray lens, which is non-iridium, and this is a black iridium lens. So as you guys can see, the one on the top, which is the Iridium lens, is a lot more mirrored. You know, you can see my reflection a lot better, but it also gives contrast to the lens. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to put the lens in front of the camera for these because, you know, in this particular setting right now, you won't be able to see the difference between the two. But, you know, just when you look through it, there's more contrasting colors in the Iridium than there is in the non-Iridium. So, you know, you would ask, then why would you want a non-Iridium lens? Well, a lot of times Oakley does put non-Iridium lenses, like let's say in this particular frame, just to kind of, you know, contrast more of the frame, so you can see a lot more of the frame than you would of the lens. Because maybe if you threw an Iridium lens in here, the lenses would be bright and shiny, and it would take away from the look of the frame. But also, you know, it's just different circumstances and different situations where a non-Iridium lens would come in handy versus an Iridium lens would. So, you know, obviously, you know, there's different choices based on what you need them to do. Another one of the questions that I've been getting a lot lately, it's been, what is the difference between a couple of different colors in the lenses, and specifically ruby, positive red, and fire. Now, I know this is a little confusing to a lot of people because they pretty much look very, very similar. So I've got an example of all three of them here. This is Monster Dog with some ruby lenses. This is a Straight Jacket with some positive red lenses. And this is an eye jacket with some fire lenses. Now the biggest, I guess, confusion is definitely between the ruby and the fire. You know, a lot of people seem to think that they look very, very similar in color. And in actuality, they do. I mean, they are very similar. It's just the fire has more of a yellowish tint to it, versus the ruby has more of a reddish tint to it. And if you guys can see, you know, right there in the middle, around the middle area, you'll see a lot more red in the ruby up here than you would in the fire down there. So, and then the positive red, obviously, depending on how you look at them, you know, sometimes they'll look red, sometimes they'll look blue, sometimes they'll look kind of like a violet color. But, you know, here you go in comparison between the you know, the ruby and the positive red, you can see the big difference. They almost look blue there, but it is a positive red lens. Now, a lot of questions have been asked about how does it look when you look through them. Now, the ruby and the fire are both, you know, when you look through them, they look pretty much the same as if you were looking through a, you know, through a black lens, in my opinion. The one that changes a bit is the positive red. The positive red actually increases a little bit more contrast, and, you know, things look, I guess, more grayish when you look through the actual lens. It's not going to look red, it's not going to look blue, or same thing with these, they won't look orange or anything like that. It's just this is the only one that I've noticed that kind of changes the look of things a little bit. So that's why maybe you don't see it as readily available in a lot of the different frames, because I guess people don't like the fact that it might change the color a little bit. So it's a cool color, definitely, if you're gonna, you know, match it with something like this, which I have it here with a blood frame. It's kind of hard to make out the reddish. This is kind of like a dark, almost like a burgundy color, and that red matches it really nice, that positive red. So that's why I threw it on that one. So those are some of the questions that I've been getting asked a lot. Again, guys, you know, if you do have certain questions, just look through the videos, because you know, maybe I've already answered them and things like that. Or, you know, if it's something that doesn't require me actually making a whole video about it, you know, just go ahead and send me a PM or a comment or something like that. And more times than none, I'm pretty good about getting back at those, and I'll give you, you know, if you have some in-depth questions, I'll give you in-depth answers as well. Now, I did want to show you guys one last thing, and this is by no means a full review on this, but you know, if you guys own an iPad or an iPhone or iPod Touch or anything like that, any of those iDevices, Oakley actually has a an app, and let me see if I can make it out here. It's called Oakley View. There it is right there in the middle. And if you guys can look it up, it's actually free. It's a really cool app because it kind of gives you a look at a lot of the different lenses and lens options and lens technologies that Oakley has. You know, it's you know, basically what it does is it kind of looks like you're looking through the glasses, and you can actually move it around with your finger. As you can see there, it's like you're looking through a road, whatever. or you can pick it up and move it around and it'll move with you. Now if I tap on here, it'll take the glasses off, so you can see here. I'll go over to the where the sun is. You can see how much glare and whatnot you're getting. So you put it on, and now you can see what it does. Now this is a black iridium lens, but if you go, right here, it's got a couple different settings. You can click on this, and it'll give you a couple different options. So here's the positive red. As you guys can see, it kind of changes the image a little bit. It makes it look a little bit more gray. This is what I was talking about. But this is positive red polarized. So you see, it took a lot of that glare out. So I'll put something else on. Here's a fire. The fire lens, it lets in a little bit more light, so it gives you a little bit more contrast there. And then I'll maybe put something. Here's a G30. It's going to let in a lot of light. So, but if you can see the difference, here it is. Take them off, and then you put them back on. And then right here, it gives you different options. So if you want to change it to maybe if you golf, it'll put you the scenery is more of a golf scenery. Here, I took them off, I put them back on. This is the G30 lens, which is the golf specific lens, so that increases a lot of contrast. So you can see, the height of the grass. Right here you see it higher versus lower over here. And then if you want to change the color of that, put on different. Here's the fire. If you wanted to use fire for golf, it still increases contrast and whatnot. A big one is water. Here it is. If you're out in the water, you're getting glare up from the sun right there, from the water. So obviously this would be a good. Here's a polarized one. Here's black polarized. You can almost make out the sun there. There's no glare coming off the water. If you were to take them off, look at the difference there. You can barely see anything. Put them back on, and then you're able to see it. So if you have any of those eye devices, this is definitely a great app. If you're looking at maybe purchasing a particular pair of glasses with a particular color or whatnot, that way you'll be able to see the different contrast and maybe make a more educated decision. Obviously, if you were to have any questions or whatnot, you can always go ahead and send them on, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Hopefully this answered some of the questions that I've been getting, and if it didn't, let me know what other specific questions you guys have, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. Alright guys? Thanks.